Are you planning on shutting down your business? Then I advise you to stop for a second and watch this video. I had a client just yesterday who came in wanting to shut down his company. And as I start talking to him and kind of figuring out what steps we need to do to shut down that company, I realized that he has a very good product. He is very good businessman. He has good processes. The only thing that was lacking was his sales. He did not have a salesperson in his company to properly sell his product. And because of that, obviously, he was not generating any revenue. And because there was no revenue coming in, he was tired. He was frustrated. He thought that his business is done and wanted to just throw the towel, close out the company. So I made some notes. I have those right here, and I'm going to share those notes as to what happened with him. And I hope I can encourage some of you guys who are thinking about shutting down your business from taking a little break and paying attention to some of these things. And maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can revive this company. Because think about it. You have put a lot of effort into this business, right? Why stop now? If we can give it one more chance, wouldn't you want to do that? I think you would. So when he came into the company, into our office, I asked him, why did you start this business? What was your reason? What was the why behind this? So he gave me some good answers. And it's like, do me a favor, can you write it down on a piece of paper? Take 10 minutes, just write it down. Yeah, they don't have to be perfect sentences, doesn't have to be perfect handwriting, just some scribbles, just maybe some bullet points, maybe A, B, C, D. He did that in 5 minutes. I asked him, now read these points and tell me, are they still relevant? Has anything changed? He was like, no, they're still good. I mean, so I'm like, so if you were to restart the company today, you would say that these points are still valid. You're like, yeah, absolutely. They're still valid. Okay. How about your product? Do you have a good product? Does it solve people's problem? Yes, I have a good product. Okay. So you have a good why and you have a good product. The only problem you have is you're not able to sell it. So why not we look at that sales problem and see if we can solve that? So I hope if you're thinking about shutting down your company, then you do the same exercise. Take out a piece of paper, write down why did you started that business in the first place, and then write down if those reasons are still valid. Like if you were to recreate the company, would you do the same thing again or would you change that? So that was step one. Now let's take a look what happened after that. So you think that everything you wrote down on that piece of paper, your why, is the reason why you started the business. However, that's not entirely true. You see, because if that was true, then you already have the product and you already have the company. It is available to public. Why do you want to shut it down? See, the reason is because you started the company to make money. And he forgot to put that on that paper. Oftentimes people think, oh, I'm doing this because I want to help out A, B, C, D. I solve problem X, Y, Z. That's all good. I have no problem with that. But the real reason why you're starting a business is to make money. That needs to be in your why. So if you miss that in this exercise, I urge you to go back and write why. And one of those why is you need to generate more income. Why do you need to generate more income? Maybe you need to support your family. Maybe there's a lifestyle that you're looking after. Maybe you want to send your kids to good school. Maybe you need to buy a new car, new house, whatever that is, it needs to be in that why. Okay. Because when you have that and then you put that why in front of you and you look at it every day, you can manifest everything on that paper in your life. Now, I don't want to become your motivational guru. Honestly speaking, I don't believe that by looking at the paper, you can generate wealth. I do believe that you do need to work hard. You need to learn the tactics. You need to work the skills. You need to show up every day. You need to execute. You need to be there for the long time. You got to do your hustle. Trust me, I believe all that. However, you cannot neglect the fact that if you don't have a GPS in front of you, if you don't know where you're going, you can sometimes go in a wrong direction. And that wrong direction can actually end up get your company shut down. You might go to your tax guy and say, hey, look, I'm done. Can you please shut it down? And they'll be happy to do that. They get paid for doing that. You know, you start a company, they get paid. You shut down the company, they get paid. You operate the company, they get paid. When they say they, I mean I. Okay. However, I get paid more if you're successful in your business. If you can make 1, 2, 5, 10, $50 million out of that business, that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to throw in the towel and move on. So let me see if I can help you solve that problem. So I asked him, see, the biggest problem that you're running into is that you don't know how to sell your product. So what do? You can do a few things. Number one thing is you can go hire somebody who can sell. Guess what did he say? He said, oh, of course I did. I hired 6 guys last year to help me with sales. Okay. How did you find these 6 people? Well, I find them online. Where? Well, I use Fiverr. I use Elance. I use he told me a couple other websites where he go hire these foreign workers to do sales for him. You see, sales is a process. What happens when you do sales? I'm doing the sales. Many of you guys, as you're watching the video, you might be saying, I don't like this guy. I can't relate to him. I don't know business with him. So there's part of you guys. Then there are some other people who are saying, well, I like to do business with him, but A, B, C, D. These people with but, they could be your good customers. They could be your good clients if you can address whatever concern they have. But oftentimes, when you hire these outside salespeople, they cannot address those concerns. In matter of fact, they're not even hearing them. They have a selective hearing. They're only hearing what they want to hear, which is, hey, yes or no. And when they say no, they move on. They're gone. No, never coming back. And you never even find out what those objections were. So my question to this client was, can you show me a list of objections that your customers are asking you? Like, list of objections? I don't have list of objections. If you don't have a list of objections, you don't have a sales process. Understand that. So number one, you got to have your why. Number two, you got to have list of objections. How do you get a list of objections? Well, you do the list of objections if you're doing the sales yourself. However, the problem is the business owners, they don't want to do sales sometimes. And when they don't want to do the sales, they don't really find out why people don't want to do business with them. Now, let's address this for a second. Why do a business owner doesn't want to do sales? Two reasons. Number one, they see sales job as lower level in a hierarchy. They just don't have enough respect for salespeople. Fake. Why? Job is job. You got to sell. So that's one problem. Number two, they think they're not good at it. They think they cannot articulate. They don't think they can express the ideas well enough, like what a salesperson can do, which is completely in their head. That's not really true. Sales is skill just like anything else. The more you do, the better you get at it. So if you're not good at it, simply means you haven't practiced enough. If I wanted to say that, I'm really good at this, I need to say it X many times before I can say it in such a way that you believe me. First few times, you might not believe me, but after a while, you will say, man, I believe this person. And that will only happen if I have practiced enough. So you're just not practicing enough. You just you pass on the ball to somebody else. Third excuse people give is, well, I'm too busy. I mean, I cannot be doing product development. I cannot be doing this and then do sales on top of it. Well, I'm not asking you to do sales all day long, but you need to take an hour, 2 hours a day to work on sales. That way you can hear those objections. That way you can train people. Very important. So those are the reasons why people don't want to do sales. Another problem I see is even if they do want to do the sales or if they hire somebody else, they're not doing enough coaching. You need to coach your people. So how do you do that? Maybe you record all your Zoom calls when your people are talking to the customers. And you review those Zoom calls and you listen to those objections and you find how to rebuttal those objections. You see, do you need to respond emotionally or do you need to respond rationally? Do you need to get more data that can convince your customers, or do you need to work on better presentation? So you wouldn't know that unless you listen to those calls. So that's very important. Okay. Those are some of the reasons why our sales process is broken. So how do you fix it? Okay. You fix it by first becoming really good at selling yourself. You got to sell to yourself, right? It's the battle is taking place in your mind. You have to win this battle first before you can go out there and win any other battle. So if you're already ready to close down your company, where do you think you are in the battle? Are you winning the battle or are you losing the battle? I don't think that's a rocket science. I think all of you guys can easily answer that one. Chances are you're losing the battle. You're actually running away from the battle at this point. So not a good situation to be in. So what can you do? Well, one of the things you can do is reach out to coaches, join some programs where you can be associated with like-minded people who can add some inputs to propel you forward, who can give you a one new idea. So I'll just give you an example. I run a small business advisory group, and this advisory group, we meet once a week and we discuss how do we grow your business. It's a paid group, it's $300 a month. But the idea is once a week we're working on new ideas. What else can we do to improve our business? That's the focus of those calls is. Now imagine if you're part of that group, what are you hearing? You're hearing positive message 4 times a month. And you do that, it gives you a new energy to go out there, solve some challenges that you couldn't solve otherwise because you're equipped with new ideas, you're equipped with positive energy, so you can go deal with that. I'm sure there are other mastermind groups in your local area, but I should kind of cautious you as well because sometimes I see these mastermind groups can be very, very expensive. There was a mastermind group I was trying to join, and the fees was $100,000. You know, now I'm not saying that price is not justified. If I could afford $100,000 to join that group, I will pay. My problem is I can't afford it. Matter of fact, I'm working to grow my business that I can pay $100,000 to be part of that group. So I don't mind that. But what I'm cautious about is make sure you're 100% certain that that will add value to you. So have some policy procedures. You don't want to go out there and spend 10, 20, $30,000 and get no value out of it. So just be very, very careful with that. Number two, typically these people that are running these mastermind groups are very, very well connected. They know a lot of people. So if you become their student or you join one of their programs, they can present your products to whatever number of customers they have, sometime in thousand, and you can get instant awareness about your product out there. And imagine if you can get few sales out of it, you just recover that cost really, really fast. So that's what I would do is look out for people who are into coaching, who are helping you improve your business. These people can add a lot of value to you. Second thing you would do is you want to partner up with influencers. You want to partner up with other local business owners. You want to partner up with other companies who have maybe some sort of similar services as yours. So that way, maybe you guys can package together. You can promote each other together. You want to join some local events where you can go, where your customers hang out, and you can actually become friends with them. You can talk to them in person. See, how do you make a sale? What is missing? Sale happen when two things needs to happen. Number one, somebody got to listen to me. If you're not listening to me, there's very low chance that we'll do business with you. And number two, I got to be able to listen to you. So see, one of the things sucks about video is you get to listen to me, but I'm not getting to listen to you. So this is only one-way medium. So it still works. It solves 50% of my problem. At least you're listening to me, but it doesn't solve 100%. I still got to talk to you. So I am giving you some options. What options I do? I do webinars where I get to talk to you. That happens every 2 weeks at the bare minimum. If you're part of my group, I'm talking to you every week anyway. If you can come to live seminar, get to talk to me. You can talk to me via events. We do a lot of different events. We go to a lot of different places. So I give you a lot of ways so where I can hear you. So honestly speaking, all these other events, I go there to hear my prospects, my customers, my clients, my friends. I want to go out there and hear them. The question is, are you hearing your customers? Sales. And I think sales got a bad reputation because a lot of time people are focused either on fear or greed. Sometimes senses, showing pretty girls or pretty cars or luxury homes. They're trying to attract that side of us, our senses. But majority of the time, it's either fear or greed. If I label a video that says, watch this to save yourself from upcoming real estate crash, a lot of people are going to click on that video. But they're saying that just to get a click. They don't have any idea about any data. They have not run the numbers. It's just coming out only for the purpose of getting click. But that's not good. That's not going to earn me respect for a long time, right? That you will probably watch that video a couple of times and then move on. Go out there on the YouTube, and how many people have been talking about recession, the crashes, and this and that, and doomsday kind of videos, and they get a lot of clicks out of it. But did that really happen? Nah, but they got what they wanted out of you. You didn't. That was not really much helpful to you. So reaching out to influencers, reaching out to coaches, reaching out to the local professional groups in your area can give you a big boost. So don't give up on your dream just yet. I think you can put one more effort to save your company. Talk to people who have big reach, people who are running big ad campaigns. And funny thing is, normally these people who can help you, they are the busiest people in their industry. They are the hardest one to get hold of. But you'll be surprised to know that most of them are willing to help you. Okay, so let's give an example. Let's say if you are a client who needs me to help you promote your services, for example. Easiest way to get hold of me would be to become my client. If you're my customer, I'll be listening to you, right? That's my job. I got to listen to my customer. So that's the easiest way. Worst is if you just need my guidance otherwise, where you're not making a payment. If I have a time, I'll help you. Otherwise, I will ignore you just because I'm busy with other clients. I pick myself an example, but the same rule applies to almost anyone out there. If you need to get somebody's attention, maybe it's a big client or big customer or big influencer or big coach. Simple, become their customer. People listen to their customers. So very simple strategy that works again and again and again. 80% of the customers requires 5 follow-up or more. And the reason why I said that stat, 80%, is because sometime what will happen is you will pick up a phone or you meet somebody at the meeting and they are ready to do business with you. And you will think, well, great. I'm so good. I can go do business with the people right away. However, then, the next time you go to an event, maybe you don't do any business with anyone. Or next time you pick up a phone and call somebody and you're not doing business with anyone. So what happened? Did all of your skills just disappear? What happened there? So what happened is you got lucky. That's most the 20%. All of us get some freebies in this. But for the other work, for the regular work, for the growth, to get the business growing, we got to work hard. We got to work on our skills. We got to follow up. We need to have a process in place. And that's when it grows. But you cannot create a process until you know your objections. You cannot create a process until you're talking to your customers. You cannot create a process until you're talking to enough of your customers. So that's why I wanted to give you some strategy that, hey, before you give up, answer this question to me. So I'm going to leave you with a few questions and see if you can answer. Let's say you might say, Deepak, my problem is that I need to become a better marketer. Okay. Let's ask you some questions. How many ideas have you tried this month? How many did you try this year? How many did you try last year? What were the outcomes? What did you learn from your mistakes? If you can't answer those questions, that means you're not going in the right direction. You're going in the wrong direction. Okay. If you want to grow your sales, then what kind of coaching are you taking in sales? What did you learn? What are some of the things you have tried? Can't answer those, you're going in the wrong direction. You can shut down the company. It's your baby. You can shut it down anytime you like. But I don't want you to do that just because you did not have this knowledge. You did not have this simple insight that, hey, we can fix, if a part of your car is broken, you don't throw away the car. You don't just send it to a junkyard. You try to fix that part. And in small businesses, I feel the pain. Small business is expensive, right? Every day expenses are growing. And times comes when you're just too tired. But what I'm saying is other things can wait. Maybe you don't do the product development anymore. Maybe you put a break on that. Maybe you don't need tons of engineers. You put a break on that. But one thing you cannot put break on is marketing and sales. You see, why am I making this video? I want to get attention of new people, new business owners. Why? Because I'm hoping if they like me, they like my content, they come to my event, they see a lot of value that I'm delivering. They say, look, this guy gives me so much value that I don't want to ever do business with anybody else. Okay. But I can't do that if I'm busy doing tax returns all day long. I need to find some time to work on sales and marketing. 20% of my time every single day goes on sales and marketing. So are you spending 20% of your time? And you do that no matter what, no matter how busy you are. And, no matter, how many meetings you have, what's going on, figure it out. Let's say you work 40 hours a month or a week, sorry. I mean, yeah, lucky 40 hours a month, but it's 40 hours a week. Let's say if that's what you're working, then try to put 8 to 10 hours in marketing and sales. That's what your focus should be. And I'm not talking about sales like day-to-day transaction. I'm saying building the sales process, improving the sales process, like working not in the business, but on the business. You join some programs, talk to some coaches, you learn from some influencers, see what's working for other people, and keep trying. You will become successful. You see, you're just giving up way too soon. You still have a chance. You can still save the company. Now, eventually, having that said, let's say if you do decide that I need to shut down the company, then please just don't, close your bank account and disappear. We need to make sure we file a final tax return with the IRS. Make sure we shut down the entity with your state. We want to make sure banks are properly shut down. We want to make sure that your creditors are properly informed. We want to make sure that you don't have any pending bills that you need to deal with. So there are a lot of silly things. Maybe you have EIN number, maybe you're running payroll, maybe you have some pending tax returns, maybe you have some pending bills. Let's get your books in order. Let's address all those things. So that way, once you shut down, it's really shut down properly. So having that said, if you want to get hold of me, all my contact information is below the video, and I will personally look forward to talking to you very soon. Thank you.